I'm back with another live stream for the commute home. Just got everything I need for my ride home, for the chat. We are ready to rock and roll. But first, safety first. Unzip the vest, because the vest is sexy. Now, we're gonna make our way home. Hopefully, you all are having a great time. It's Friday. It's everybody's Friday, or it's early Friday morning. I still got one more shift left to work. And then I got 3 days of work next week. And then I'm on vacation. Vacation away from my job. Oh man, I'm super stoked. Oh man. Ooh, no, don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with your favorite tunes tonight on KXY 96.5. Coffee is needed for this ride home. Oh my goodness, we need a light. Oh, there we go. So hopefully, I was connected to my truck for a hot minute and it kept on, I think, throwing off my mic. It made me sound like I was in a tunnel. So hopefully, disconnecting from the truck, my mic sounds a little bit better as I talk to you guys today. So, and we'll wait till we get some people to hop in and we'll start getting going. I have a little bit of snackaroo. Get ourselves up and going. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. God damn, that's good. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Trying her nose. Good Lord. That tastes great. Alrighty. Let's get rolling. Hopefully we're going to see some people up here chit-chatting with me in a hot minute. Oh, hello, first viewer. What's up? How you doing? Welcome to the late night commute ride home. It's your host, Gaming Camper Dad. Talk to me. Tell me what you're thinking about. We can get going. Aww. Well, we'll wait for the next person. Hello, how you doing? I may not get a whole lot today. We'll see. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness. Hello, how are you? How are you this fine evening? Or morning, whatever you want to call it. I am phenomenal. How are you, Ivan? How's everybody doing this fine evening or early morning for you? I get it, man. I'm tired too. But unfortunately, I got to stay awake. I got 2 hours to drive. And it's 1:45 in the morning for me. Yep, me too. I just got done work. Now I'm headed home. I'll be home around 4 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be a rough ride home. Well, I work in a completely different state from where I live. It's about a 2-hour drive to my job site. So I got to go run up, come back. Nope, don't work for emergency services. I'm not in law enforcement. I work for a company that makes medicine, right? And where I originally started was in my home state, and then I got promoted. But my promotion was at another site in another state. And I can't afford to buy another house up here, so I commute during the winter. During the summer and during the springtime, I stay at a place up here for 5 days a week. No, not a drug dealer. Well, I guess technically I would be a legal drug dealer. No, I make decent money. I'm pretty happy with it. It's a good job, and what we make is good, right? What we make is good for children, so. But how y'all doing? Mr. Palan, how you doing? Hopart, what's up? No, I do not live in Texas. I do not live in Texas. I wouldn't mind living in Texas, but I do not live in Texas. I live on the East Coast. Northeast, to be more precise. Good old area around the Delmarva shore. I have heard a lot of nice things about Texas. I wouldn't mind living there. From Oregon, oof, all the way out on the west coast, the northwest coast. It's got to be cold right now. Apologies, I'm eating, I'm hungry. What you guys don't know is I'm actually in a speedboat now. Your family forced you to move to Texas? Where'd you move from? Oh, Iowa, nice. I almost went out to Iowa. My company almost promoted me and sent me to Iowa. I did not go there. Oh, so you lived in Oregon and then you moved out here. Or you moved to Texas. Anyway, nice. I bet it's cold in Oregon. Yeah, absolutely. It's cold where I'm at. So. I'm up here in the central part of PA right now, so. It's like 20 degrees where I'm at. It's cold. It's not fun. I hate the cold. Well, I technically don't hate the cold if I'm prepared for it. What I don't like is humid, hot weather. That's what I don't like. That sucks. Oof. I haven't been out to Oregon probably since I was like 10. So it's been a long time. But I remember when I went there to visit family, it was quite beautiful out there. Don't get beat up by your parents. Get some sleep. Have a good night, bud. It's a beautiful night tonight. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It is the nice part of being in the winter up here is the nights are very clear. So the sky is open. You can see everything up in the stars. It's cold, but it's not terrible. I love it this time of year a little bit. I think we're gonna get a lot of snow this year, though. I think we're gonna get a ton of snow. It's almost Christmas. What are you excited for when it comes to Christmas? Are you excited to be off from work or school or whatever you're doing? Unless you celebrate Hanukkah, which, you know, L'Chaim. Actually, it reminds me, my friend, it's almost Hanukkah. I gotta tell my friend Happy Hanukkah. Oh, that's good. It's nice to be with family. I, unfortunately, will not be hanging out with too much of my family. I'll be actually traveling for Christmas this year to go to a place much warmer. So it's the first time we're not actually celebrating Christmas. At least not at home, anyway. We'll be celebrating Christmas in a completely different area. Yeah, I can't complain. You know, that's one nice thing I'll do is I get a fair amount of vacation time with my job. So I take that vacation time and I take my family and we go places. So this year we decided we're gonna go to Florida and go visit Powerline. What's up, dude? How you doing? Powerline meet Hope Hart. Hope Hart meet Powerline. I do. I have one son. I have one son, and my in-laws live with me. So my wife is from another country, and my in-laws immigrated to the United States about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. So they live with us, and basically, I take them on trips to go see the United States. So I'm taking them down to Florida. We're gonna have a great time. Probably go to Busch Gardens in Tampa, where I will try to convince my son to get on roller coasters with me. So, but we'll see. Well, thank you, Powerline. I'm glad to see you back, man. I gotta post clips of that live show I did last night with the toaster. I have a couple bits on there. Well, here's a question for you both that are chatting me up. It's 2026 in what? It's what, the 11th? So it's 12th. So in 20 days, it's the beginning of the new year. What are you hoping to accomplish in the coming new year? What are your hopes and dreams for 2026? Waiting, guys. I want to hear what you got for your hopes and dreams. There you go. That's a great thing to try to do. I will always recommend, if you're going to do volunteer work, right? I think that's a great organization to work for, or do some community work for. I've done it. taking that time to build houses for those in need or those who can't afford homes is a very fulfilling thing you can do. You can do that, or you can take time to work in soup kitchens that are in your area. It's always good to try to do things like that to help people out in need. I have Social Security, so I be at home all day. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, hopefully it's not because an injury or something like that. You are at least in a sense of retired and trying to enjoy life. Yeah, I will always tell people, like, the most fulfilling thing I've ever done in my life is donate my time to help other people in need. So when I did work for Habitat for Humanity, or when I've done food drives or worked in soup kitchens, it's been very fulfilling to help people. Myself, feel more confident. I can stand up for myself when needed. I can also like to find my purpose. All right. No. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you're getting all the medical care you need and everything that you require, and you're being properly taken care of, and you're doing things for yourself. I completely understand. I have relatives that have the same things that they go through, so I do understand, and I know that's very tough. I hope you're getting everything that you need in order to help yourself, and then when you have the chance, you'll be able to help others. For you, Powerline, my recommendation, if you want to go do that, you could always join the military. And I know it's cliche, but I have two very good friends of mine. One is a retired first sergeant in the Army, and another one is a current first sergeant in the Air Force. If you want the ability to do that, learn combat, go different countries, the military is a good option for you to learn. It'll give you purpose, it'll give you discipline, and the big thing to focus on is that after you get done the military, what do you want to do with your life after that? Autism, yeah. My uncle, my father's brother, suffers from a severe form of autism. So he has had a very hard time trying to work for most of his life. My grandparents are getting close to the end of their life. They're in their 90s. And my father and my aunt are trying to work out a way to bring my uncle down to where my father lives and work through an organization called KSI. KSI takes people with disabilities that want to work, that have the ability that they can work, and they go ahead and they take them out into areas to go work. Right? By drone, I'm fine. Dying with combat, but not a stupid drone. Yeah, I can relate to it. So, no, I will always tell people, if you wanna go off and because you're young, go off, join the military, get that purpose in life, and then once you are out of the military, or you could do 20 years, right? Like I said, my friend is retired from the Army. He did 35 years in the Army, and he retired as a first sergeant, right? And he has some of the best memories of his life was serving. And he was stationed in Poland, Qatar. He was in Iraq, Afghanistan, Germany, Japan, I think, for a time. So he got to travel the world. And my other friend, who is currently an Air Force first sergeant, he spent most of his career, I think, in Asia, Korea, South Korea, Japan. I want to say the Philippines and somewhere else. He was telling me. So it is definitely a way to travel the world. Or you could go over to South Korea and teach English. I almost did that when I was in college. A buddy of mine who's from South Korea was trying to convince me to go over and teach English in South Korea. And I'm pretty sure if I went over to South Korea, my life would be completely different than what it is right now. Oh, yeah, yep. The toaster. Days of our toasters. On last episodes of Days of Our Toasters, Jake came home with a new toaster with 8 red toasting slots. Unfortunately, his original toaster became jealous, and a fight broke out. It's honestly not that bad. I want to tell you right now, it's not. And I'll tell you from my friends that I know that are in the military and in some of the intelligence agencies, North Korea's capability of actually fighting is barely there. The bigger concern in the East Asia region is China. That will always be the bigger concern. I'm hungry, so you have to forgive me. I got a snack. I'm an independent. I don't identify with the Republican Party or the Democrat Party. I absolutely despise the two-party system. Sorry, I'm chewing. I put it this way. Most people, when it comes to political conversations, are very surface level. They don't know much. They don't do the research. And quite frankly, it is not a Republicans versus Democrats. It's more of the political class versus everybody else. Because what politicians do, and I'll tell you from my personal insight, because I have met a fair amount of people that work in the DC world, I can tell you right now, both Republicans and Democrats could give a damn about anybody that their or whoever their constituents are. Because bottom line is, as soon as they get in power, they're there to make a shit ton of money, pit you against your polar opposite or your political opposite. So they keep that constant going back and forth between each other. They don't care. Bottom line, I have met so many people who are DC lobbyists, we're in super PAC groups, and I can tell you right now, they don't care. The whole party line stuff, most of it is nonsense. Most of them do not care. The only thing they care about is getting reelected, getting paid, and basically just making sure everything goes the way they want it to go. So I'll give you a little bit of my own personal history. So when I was younger, I used to drive a cab, and I used to drive an Uber. So I did cab in Ocean City, Maryland for 2 years. and this was actually the 2 years I did it was just before Trump got elected. And I remember when that summer before the election, I predicted Trump winning that election because people, when they get into a cab, are very honest. They will say whatever they feel like. And Ocean City is a melting pot in Maryland for different areas of the country. So New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, DC area. You get a swath of people. And I used to pick people up, and predominantly most people were more Trump than they were for Hillary. Now, that was back in 2016. Now, when I did Uber, right, I did Uber in the Rehoboth Beach area where Joe Biden's beach home is, right? Now, Rehoboth Beach is a big vacation spot for those who work in DC, those who are connected to the political class. So I had times to meet and make connections to people who were lobbyists and people who worked in the defense industry and people who worked in the political industry. And I can tell you right now, the amount of stuff that people will tell you when they are drunk and they are coherent is shocking. No, I have not yet. That is on my list to play. I started playing Dark Souls like a month ago. I haven't gotten back into it just because I haven't had time. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing a playthrough. I don't know if I want to do the Dark Souls playthrough or if I want to do Elden Ring playthrough. It's going to be one or the other. So, Rehoboth Beach is a big DC kind of vacation town. It's a vacation party town. You would be surprised. People of both political classes would be in Rehoboth, be in the same car, and I'm going to tell you, there would be people that in public would say how much they hate their counterpart, but when they were in my vehicle, they were buddy-buddy, laughing it up, and a big chunk of them are just full-on degenerates. So, in my personal system, I'm an independent. I don't have any care for the Republicans or Democrats because they're both full of shit. They're both sitting there playing the general public against each other in order to continue to gain power and to gain money. Yeah, so when it came to Dark Souls, I got done playing Silent Hill F, doing a playthrough of that, and that was fun. And people were telling me, like, "Oh, it's like Dark Souls. It's like Dark Souls." I'm like, I have never played Dark Souls, so I'll check it out. I said, but if this is like Dark Souls, then I'm gonna just dominate this game. So I started playing Dark Souls, and I can't even get past like the first, I got through like the first tutorial level, and then after that I can't go anywhere, and I'm like, this game hates me. It hates me. It's so difficult. Like, this is ridiculous. Oh yeah, no. So, history lesson. So, my degree field that I studied in college, which is hilarious because what I studied in college has nothing to do with what I do now for work. But I got a master's degree in African American history and colonial Chesapeake history. So here is a little bit of a history lesson for you. During Bacon's Rebellion in Virginia, before that rebellion, there were no such things as segregation or black codes or anything like that, right? At the time, poor white indentured servants and poor white farmers had more in common with African slaves and African indentured servants. So when Bacon's Rebellion happened, you had a swath of indentured servants and slaves, right? African slaves that rose up with Bacon's Rebellion in order to fight the Virginia gentry. When that rebellion was squashed by the governor of Virginia, they instituted black codes. And the black codes came about because The Virginia gentry were like, well, the poor white farmers and the indentured servants from Europe have more in common with the African slaves and the indentured servants we have from Africa. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and divide it by race, and these people will never be united against their real common enemy, which was the Virginia gentry at the time. That has been the playbook since forever. Even before America was a thing, feudalism was designed that way. So it's a surprise. Most people don't take that time to learn that. It's not really well taught. And really, you have to take the time to go through and read and understand all those sources. But it's been the game book for that for forever. Yeah, Dark Souls isn't like that. You can't just level up. At least as far as I can tell. Like I said, I had to get back into it. I have had nothing but a struggle fest. It's really bad. I've got some shorts of me playing it, and it's like I'm getting visibly frustrated trying to not die constantly. Don't judge me. I need my sugar. So, I manage the production of Rototech. Rototech is a vaccine that's made for babies. It's meant for the prevention of rotavirus. So rotavirus is a nasty little disease where if a child gets it, they kind of, what happens is they vomit and they have bad diarrhea. And what happens is they do it so much is that they become extremely dehydrated and can die from it. So, and in this country, it's not really as bad. Most infants get it around, I think, month 2. It's one of the last vaccines they'll get. It's an oral vaccine, and it's done through the mouth. And most nurses will tell you they do it last because it's a sweet tasting vaccine. But in other countries where there's not really access to water, it's a life-saving drug. Called Ghost. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. That looks like a fun game. I have to start doing that one. Oh, dude, chill. There's a lot of games I want to get into and play. I haven't had the chance to, you know. I've been working since, when did I first start working? 12? Yeah, I started working when I was 12 with my father. And I haven't stopped since. So it's a never-ending cycle for me. What's up, Flacco Jr.? How you doing, man? It's doing great, man. We're just chilling and we're chatting right now. What you up to? Yeah, baby, 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 baby. We're talking about video games and we're talking about random things about politics and talking about what I do for a living, all that fun stuff, man. Trying to sleep. Who needs sleep? You sleep when you're dead. Well, hope you have a great night. Hopefully you have a great day tomorrow. Hopefully you have a great weekend. And hopefully you have a great 2026 if I don't see you. Have a great night. Be healthy. Be happy. Oh, 6 a.m. wake up time. Oof. My friend. My friend. My brother in Christ. You must sleep. See ya. Oh, I can tell you, if you want to get a good night's sleep, actually, no, you might get caught up in it. There is a YouTube creator called Nature's Temper. Yeah, Nature's Temper. He reads horror stories, but his voice is very like soothing and calm. Definitely worth going out and checking it out. If you're into like horror stories, like great stuff. He reads it in such a very calm, chill tone, you'll fall asleep. Yep. Nature's Temper. Favorite one from him is was it I'm a Guard at a Secret Prison. It's like 3.5 hours long, but it's fucking great, dude. That and Dragon Slayer is also really great. There's a few other ones that are really great too, but those are my two favorite from him. And he's great at impersonation, so he'll change his accent. So I believe he's British, but he can do like an American accent, like British, Australian, like a whole bunch of stuff. You too, man. Take care. Get some sleep. Hopefully I'll see you in the next coming year. I would love to do more like horror content. Like I love horror stories. I love science fiction. But it's hard for me to find the time. I just think once like I get myself onto a first shift job role, I'll be able to actually like do some of the things I want to in content creation, because I won't be like dead tired. Making my way downtown, walking fast, paces fast, and my homebound. I apologize for that. It's a little bit outrageous. Get some heat in here. It's cold in this truck. Walking fast, pieces fast, and I'm homebound. Actually, no. It's when I started out with my company, I worked in a film room, and one of the things I used to make my guys do when they were like learning how to do it, was like, there's one thing you are required to learn if you want to work in the film room with us, right? And it'd be like all of us sitting there in the office as we're going over paperwork, and be like, all right, guys, you know what we have to make them do? All right. Be like, you are my fire, the one desire, you know. Just do the whole fucking NSYNC song, and all of us sing in unison. It's like, if you can sing with us, then you can be accepted into the film room. Yeah, it looks like it's me and you again, bud. My bread heater. What's that? God, there was I want to say a couple years ago, there was a video of this girl who worked at Ace, and she did a clip where she made, like, she built all the grills, and it's like, have you met my main lady, who it's like Keisha, Sarah, Jasmine. It's like going around the entire thing. I just imagining that as it going around into like a toaster aisle at like at Walmart. Ba 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 da da ba da ba 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 da ba. This is not coffee. This is sparkling water, by the way. So, Powerline, what do you want to do? Right? You said you were at 17, so you're getting ready to graduate high school. Is it this year, or are you graduating next year? Oh no, I had coffee already. Now I'm on sparkling water. I'm gonna tell you one thing: never have energy drinks. It's terrible for you. I unfortunately got hooked on that stuff when I was younger. I used to pound back like 6 Red Bulls a day, and not the small cans. I'm talking about like the fucking 20-ounce cans. Oh well. So you'll be graduating, let's see, it's December, so you'll be graduating what, May? End of May, beginning of June, right? Don't have any of your drinks, don't smoke cigarettes. I was hooked on both of those things for the longest time, and both were fucking terrible for me. I don't smoke anymore, and I don't drink any drinks anymore. So I'm a lot more functional now than I was. That's for sure. Oh, next year. Okay, so you graduate next year. Okay. So you want to travel the world. I think that's something that everybody should do. It's a great big world out there. I've been around a bit. I've seen a lot of stuff. It's an amazing place to go see. It's one of those things I will always tell people: if you get the chance to go overseas and see all kinds of things, right? There's a lot of beauty out there, and it's worth the wait to go out there. Well, that's good. You know, when I was 17, I learned I learned what I wanted to do, and I ended up not doing what I wanted to do because out of respect for my parents, I didn't, right? And I don't regret it because every life decision you make eventually takes you to a place where I think you want to be, right? Now, of course, it always comes down to, I think eventually, like the life decisions, or not the life decisions, but like the choices you make when you have points in your life that comes down to. Because you will, in your life, come to crossroads. And you'll have to make a decision at that crossroad of which direction to go, right? And nobody can really tell you which way is the right direction, right? But there will be instances where you should know what the right direction is, right? So, well, originally I wanted to go serve in the military, and then I wanted to be a teacher. So I didn't serve in the military out of respect for my mother. She didn't want me to go into service. She was afraid I was going to die in combat. And there was a good possibility I probably would have died in combat because I probably would have been sent over to Afghanistan or Iraq. So I didn't serve out of respect for my mother. But I did, when I went to college, I took a lot of time because I ran in college, but I gave up on running because at the time, after my first year, the great housing collapse happened. My father was a contractor. So I've stopped running track and field to help my dad out. So I gave up on my dreams of running in college. So I ran a year in college and then I gave up because I had to help my father. But what I did instead was I went and I started coaching at my old high school. So I started coaching cross country and track and field. And I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to work with kids and help kids grow and learn and be successful in life. And I really enjoyed being a coach. I had a wonderful 4 years coaching at my old high school. And then I went to a new high school where they hired me to be the track and field coach and were going to roll me into a teaching role. But they put me in as a specialist, or God, what is it called? Basically, I worked with kids with some behavioral problems. I spent a year in that school, and what I learned being at that school, because it was a harder school district to work in, the unfortunate part was I found out that a lot of schools didn't care about kids. Like the way the system is designed, and this is back in like 2011, it wasn't really meant to really keep kids and actually help them grow. It was just to hit a status quo. The moment that really changed me from wanting to work in public education ended up being I worked at the elementary school, and then I would finish up at the elementary school and I would go to the high school. So I finished up the elementary school one day and I came into the high school, and I would come in through the gym. And as soon as I walked into the gym, I see one of the guys that I coached for the track team. He was in the basketball, or he was playing basketball in the gym. A really great kid, but kind of a knucklehead. And I knew he needed to pass chemistry in order for him to graduate. It was his senior year, and the only thing he really cared about was track, and that's about it, right? So I came up to him in the gym, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing here? Well, coach, I mean, the gym teacher doesn't care, and my chemistry teacher doesn't care, so I'm just playing basketball. I'm like, no, you're going to go back to your class, or you're not going to the next meet. He got a little upset at first. I said, no, your responsibility is to get an education first. I said, your responsibility is to be in chemistry class right now, so I expect you to go back to class. So he ended up going back to class, and I went to the gym teacher, and I was like, hey man, what is he doing here? He's supposed to be in chemistry class. Send him back to class. And the gym teacher goes, well, you know, his teacher doesn't care, and I don't care. So I got a little annoyed. So when the school finished up and my athletes were coming out, I told the assistant coach, hey, take those kids out, start getting them warmed up and ready. I said, I'll be out there in about 30 minutes. So I went to go see his chemistry teacher. And I go up there and I'm like, hey man, you know he has to pass this class to graduate. Like, why is he in the gym playing basketball right now? And the chemistry teacher looked at me and goes, look, I don't give a shit. And he doesn't give a shit. So I'm not going to waste my time chasing him around the school. And I looked at him and I was like, then why the hell do you get a fucking paycheck? I left out and I talked to my athletic director and the principal. And the amount of like, well, not really much we can do about it. It was the moment in my life where I looked at that and I said, this isn't about helping kids. It's about just keeping a status quo, and that's it. And I just decided I'm not going to work in a system that doesn't give a damn about the kids that are in it. And unfortunately, it's done nothing but get worse now, right? Or gotten worse now. God, my grammar is terrible. You have a lot of kids that come out of school, they can't read, they can't write. You know, their reading comprehension is fucking awful. I mean, when I was in grad school and I was grading papers back in like 2014 and 2013, I'm going to tell you right now, I have dyslexia. I have a problem, right? And I had to struggle with that. But I was taking freshmen's papers and looking through them, and I'm like, what is this? What are you writing? And this is back in 2013. It's worse now. It's a hell of a lot worse now. And it's unfortunate because you're not setting up the future generation for success. You're setting them up for failure. It's the unfortunate part of the way the system has gotten. And it's a lot of capitulation. I'm going to tell you right now, teachers union, look, I got a lot of respect for teachers themselves, but there's a fair amount of problems with the teachers unions that I have. And basically because teacher unions will sit there and protect teachers, whether they're good or bad. And I mean, when I say bad, I mean really fucking bad. Because there's been some teachers that have been caught in inappropriate relationship with students. People don't find out about it because the teachers union finds a way to find out before, and they do this whole fucking shuffle around the deck bullshit, and teachers get shuffled around like the Catholic Church used to do, right? Before they got caught up in that scandal, right? They had priests that were caught diddling kids in the Catholic Church, and they would just move them and ship them over to another church, right? And they continue the process. Well, the teachers unions, there's a lot of similarities to that. So basically what I'll tell you, I knew of probably about 3 or 4 teachers that were probably in active relationships with students that had just graduated. I knew of, or heard rumors of teachers that were in active relationship with students. It was fucking gross. So I'm glad to hear that you're homeschooled. My oldest brother, he homeschools his 5 kids, right? And they're all super smart, right? I think it really comes down to the care of the education head. Now my son goes to public school, but for me and my wife, every day when he comes home, he does math, he does reading, he does writing, he's learning Bulgarian, right? So he's learning Spanish. Like we make him do more than just what the public school provides. Yeah, my brother had 5 kids. His oldest is trying to think. 17, I think. 17 or 18. 17, I think. Yeah, but that, me working in public education unfortunately killed my dream for working with kids and trying to be a positive influence on life, because the system's not designed for you to be a positive influence on life. It's designed for you to fill out metrics, and basically kids just don't excel anymore. Yeah. Like I said, I suffered from dyslexia, and I had a terrible time with reading when I was younger, right? And I love my parents. Well, God rest my mom's soul. Love you, Mom. But they didn't take the time to have me read until, like, I had to go to a special class to help me learn how to read properly. But like I said, I suffer from dyslexia, so I still deal with that. But it took that happening for my mom to actually, like, make me read, and she made me read the Bible. So eventually I learned how to read properly, but at the same time, I still suffered from dyslexia. And when I went through grad school, it was a challenge because for me, I have to reread everything like twice just to make sure I read it correctly. Now, I have also a photogenic memory, so I'll sit there and read something, and I'll remember about 70% of what I read. However, right, because I have dyslexia, it will cause me sometimes to read something incorrectly or mix up words. So I'll get the information fucked up, and then I have to go back and fix it, right? So that's why I have to constantly reread something twice, which is kind of annoying, especially if I'm reading an article or reading about an incident, and I'll be sitting there reading it, and I'm like, all right, let me reread this again. It's annoying. Now, Powerline, what do you want to accomplish when you finish up your high school studies? I know you want to travel, right? You want to learn combat. But what do you want to accomplish? What's your goal in life, right? You could serve in the military. You could travel the world. So what's that dream that you want to do? What's that impact you want to make on people's lives? So basically, dyslexia is, unfortunately, when I read, what happens is I mix up words or sentences, and my brain doesn't function to the point where I'm like reading it correctly. So let's say I'm reading it like an email, and it goes, hey David, the meeting tomorrow is going to be at 12 o'clock p.m. And it's going to go to 4 p.m. And it's going to be in building 65, room 2115, right? Make sure you bring whatever. So I'll read that, and sometimes I'll miss words or numbers or something to that effect, and I won't get everything out of it, right? And I've had moments where I've read something, thought I knew what I had read, responded, and then they're like, what do you mean? That makes no sense. And then I have to go, oh shit, like I didn't respond to that. So that's kind of what happens with me. And especially in my industry, I have to be precise. So I really have to reread everything multiple times to ensure that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing correctly. I'm hungry. Finding what? Finding or fighting? Finding information or the best app or game or anything that isn't out in the open. I have other things I like, but most of these are hobbies. Like that. Okay. Too long. Okay, gotcha. So you like finding these obscure things out there, information or apps or games, and checking them out and seeing what they provide. It's not bad. Tell you what, if you decide to go travel, right? If you, let's say you want to go in the military, but before you go to the military, I will recommend you take a flight, go out and visit parts of Eastern Europe, Greece, Turkey, Bulgaria. My wife is from Bulgaria. It's a beautiful country, extremely safe. Second most spoken language is English. There is a cave out in Bulgaria. It's called the Eyes of God, right? And it's a cave that's naturally formed where there's two holes in the top of the cave that opens up to the sky, and it looks like a pair of eyes, right? It's beautiful. Why don't you plan a trip? Now, of course, I'm pretty sure your parents are going to be like, you listen to a guy on YouTube to go somewhere and check something out. Are you an idiot? But I will highly recommend going to Bulgaria. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people. It's called the Land of Roses because that's where roses, I think, originated from. And the roses there in Bulgaria are like the size of your hand, right? But I would go over there and just explore. There's beautiful cities. The capital is Sofia, Bulgaria. There's another city called Plovdiv, which is very beautiful. And it has Roman and Greco-Roman architecture that you can go see and visit. There's the ancient seaport of Nestabar that's on the Black Sea. It's beautiful. The water in the Black Sea is pristine, see-through. It's gorgeous. And depending on what time you go, the tickets aren't bad. You can get a round-trip ticket anywhere from like $600 to $1,000. I will tell you the best airline to fly is Turkish Airlines. The reason why I tell you to fly Turkish Airlines is Turkish Airlines is one of the only airlines where you can get 2 check bags for free, a carry-on bag, and a backpack. Yeah, I will tell you, if you fly internationally, Don't fly American Airlines or United. Fly any other airline other than an American airline overseas. American Airlines and United will nickel and dime you for every little thing. Whereas Turkish Airlines, everything is paid for with your ticket, right? So like I said, you get 2 check bags, a carry-on, and a backpack, right? You get free entertainment, so you get like it's full touchscreen, right? You get 2 meals, and you get any beverage you want for free. You don't have to pay for it, right? And when you land in Istanbul, because you'll automatically, with Turkish Airlines, you'll land in Istanbul. The airport in Istanbul is beautiful. It honestly, overseas, the airports put our airports to shame, like 100%. And I would highly recommend going to visit Istanbul and Greece. Greece is quite beautiful. So Bulgaria shares a border with Turkey and Greece. So it's definitely somewhere where you can go and get to see a lot of like history and just beautiful, like picturesque like areas. There's a lot of beauty in that region, and it's quite worth the trip. Don't get me wrong, I love America, and I've been all across the country. I've been to like 27 or 30 states, and there's a lot of beauty in the United States. Do not get me wrong. We have some of the most picturesque, beautiful things that you can go see in the United States. But I will always tell people, go overseas, see the beauty of the rest of the world, because there's a lot of beauty to be seen. Well, there's a lot of things that America isn't great about, but no country's perfect, right? Everybody's got their own problems. Everybody's working through their own solutions. We can only hope one day that we can all figure it out some way. In the meantime, we're all kind of growing together. The world's going to keep growing, no matter what. That was delicious. Delicious. Yeah, it's back home again for me. Tomorrow I got one more day of work. Then Saturday I gotta put a trailer hitch on my wife's Jeep. And then Sunday, I'll probably stream Sunday. Oh, I had to take my final exam for the year for my econ class. Or no, my accounting class. And then I'm done for the semester. And then I got 3 more days of work. And then I'm on vacation after that. Yeah, that's good. All right. Good thing is, I'm about 30 minutes from home. I'm super excited. I'm actually making great time. This is what I love about the drive home. The drive up is always longer. The drive home is clear. There's barely anybody on the road, and I'm just cruising. So I'm taking my family down to Miami for a week, and then we're going to Tampa for 2 days. So, and I'm going to take my son and I'm going to take my family to Busch Gardens in Tampa. So, me and my wife have memberships for Busch Gardens, because every year I go to Hollow Scream in Williamsburg, which the first year we went, actually was really cool and fun. Like, the scare actors were much better, but the past 2 years, not really as great as I used to be. Oh, really? Nice. Moving to France? You want to move to France, or you're saying your friend is planning a vacation to France? My grandparents on my mom's side used to live, I think, outside of Jacksonville. I used to go down there a lot for summertime. It was always fun. Remember, we used to go to a water park down there? They had the best water slides back in the day. Friends planning on moving to France? Oh, okay. France wouldn't be my first choice. I'll be honest. The western parts of Europe, I'm not the biggest fan of western parts of Europe, as much as I am with eastern parts of Europe. I like eastern parts of Europe. The people there are a little more like, I like the fact that they're a little more upfront. There's not a lot of bullshit. They tell you how it is, and that's it, right? I love about Bulgarians is they're straightforward people, right? My wife doesn't like wasting words. That's what she likes to say. She gets annoyed when she's like, in order for you to get an answer, you have to take like 3 conversations to get an answer. Why not just have the conversation in one and get your answer, right? And it's funny, her friend, or one of her friends, who is like a bank executive now, she's Bulgarian, and she got in trouble one time because she would write an email, right, very blunt and to the point. Now, it wasn't like rude or mean, it was just like, hello, Samantha, per our last conversation, you need to be able to get this done by this time. Send. And her boss brought her in one day. It's like, yeah, when you send an email, you gotta be like a little more sweet and blah, blah, blah. And she goes, that's a waste of time. That's a waste of words, a waste of my time. This is what they're supposed to be doing. I'm telling them exactly what they have to do, and they got to go do it, right? It's Bulgarians for you, right? And like I said, they're very like upfront, forward people. They'll tell you. They're not going to sit there and mince their words. So, which I like. I like the honesty, right? Because I find like in the States, people aren't overly honest with each other. They want to. It's like fake nice. That's what my wife calls it. What I think of it, right? People will be fake nice to you, to your face, but then stab you in the back the moment they can. Right? And that's the thing. Like, especially in the corporate environment, it's always like people are very nice to you, to your face. But the moment you're not around, it's like, let me throw you right under this tractor trailer coming at full speed. So, man, I made some great time today. I'm almost about like 35 minutes from home. How far is it? So getting there. I will not forget. Oh man. I thought I was driving fast, but man, these people are flying past me. Ridiculous. Ay, man. I am ready to get home and climb in my bed and fall asleep. Parents live 8 hours away from each other. Yeah. That's rough. It's rough. Get a whole job. But then again, I haven't tried hard enough. I will tell you this, right? I will say finding a career is something that you don't have to do when you're 18, right? Or when you're 17. There's a lot of great jobs you can have at a young age, but you don't have to get like, well, what am I going to do for the rest of my life when I turn 18? I think the first thing you want to focus on is, how do I want to be seen? Not seen, but let's say, how do I want to carry myself, right? Do I want to carry myself as a good person, as somebody who cares, who's compassionate, who's strong, courageous, confident? Am I somebody who wants to kind of stay out of the way and just do what I need to do to get through the day? this way. You got to find what your passion is, right? Now, I'll say this, right? I wanted to work and help people. I wanted to help kids, right? Now, I didn't get a chance to do that. But what I did do is I picked a field where, one, I make medicines that help people. And two, I get to work and coach people in order to help them get better. Yeah, I think a lot of people have this mentality of like, if you don't have it figured out by this age or by this time, you'll never be successful, and that's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous statement to say, right? You know, some people, it takes some time to figure out what their purpose is in life, what they want to accomplish, right? There's been a fair amount of people that are famous artists or architects or lawyers or actors or doctors or whatever, that didn't start immediately at 18 with this goal of like, oh, I'm going to turn 18, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. I think there was this lady who, she was like 81, and she just kind of piddled around, and then she started painting. I can't remember exactly the story. It's been a long time since I've read the article, but she didn't become a famous painter, or at least a famous artist, until she was like 82, when she started doing it as just a random hobby, and she got very wealthy off of it, right? She found her purpose. There's a fair amount of people who don't really find that one thing that drives them, that moves them, that brings them passion in their life for them to do those things, right? So no, I don't think you have to be battened down at 18. I think it's wise to have an idea of like, hey, you know, I know one thing. It's like, I want to be a good person. I want to do right by people. I want to carry myself, and I want to keep to my word and my code and my honor. I think that's something you should try to strive for by the time you're 18, right? Because when you're young and you're a kid, you're still going to make mistakes, right? And that's part of life. You're never going to be successful or accomplish what you truly want to accomplish without making mistakes and failing, right? I'll put it this way, right? The goal isn't to be perfect. The goal is always to try to be better, right? Every day you should look to just be better at something. Whatever it may be, whatever skill you want to try to learn or do, just work to be better. And then when you get older, you should try to make people that are below you, right? Not in the sense like you're better than them, but people who are coming up that are learning, you should strive to teach them and help them grow so they can become better than you, right? My mentality of when I have people I train or people that I work with in my field, perfect example. One of the people I train in my room, in the field room, and it's the same way I tell everybody that I train now, is I don't train you to be as good as me. I train you to be better than me. Because innovation does not come from training you to be as good as me. Because once you get to a point of like, well, I'm as good as this person that's ahead of me, you'll never want to strive for anything better, right? Oh, I'm as good as this person. Oh, I'm as good. Or you'll be like, oh, well, you're not as good as he was, but you're good. Innovation is not driven by training people or teaching people how to be as good as you. It's by training people and teaching people how to be better than you, right? That is the goal as you get older, is, hey, I'm really great at this, but I think you are going to be greater than me. So I'm going to show you it took me a long time to learn, to help you grow faster than I did. That is how innovation, that's how things change, that's how the world grows. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't want to do that, right? A lot of older generations that I have worked with in the past, they believe in the idea of keeping information and not sharing it. And I think it's selfish. That have true innovation, to have people go out and accomplish and create great things. You should strive to train teach people to be better than yourself. Right? Nobody will ever be perfect. But for society and humanity to grow, we have to work to train and show people that not only can you be as good as me, but you can be better than me. And that's what I want. That's my philosophy. Because I'm not worried about somebody coming in and eventually doing the job better than me, right? Because what that should show the people above you is like, oh, you train this person to be better than you, to accomplish this a lot easier and faster and make improvements. What can you do at the next level, right? What can you accomplish at the next level? The big thing for me is, even when in my current role, I don't mind getting into the gruff and getting my hands dirty in the work. I think that's something that every leader should be focused on, right? Is not being afraid of getting down in the dirt with the guys and the girls that you work with. So I get that, right? A lot of people do that, and that happens, right? That's natural for a lot of people to do, right? So I remember when I first started in the fill room, when I first started learning the filling line, when I first started with the company I work for now, some of the people I worked with were more of like, no, I'll handle that problem. I'll fix that problem. Eventually, when I took over that room to run that fill line, to run the labeling line, and all that stuff, I made sure not only that when I had struggles, I learned what the problems were, but when I brought in new people to learn those things, I always told them, I said, you guys won't be able to accomplish everything I have, because a lot of the problems I fixed. I said, now, however, I can show you how to fix those problems, how to accomplish in getting those problems fixed, so you don't have to struggle the way I struggled when I first started in this role. I said, however, you're going to end up having your own events, your own problems that will come up. You're going to have to learn to handle that yourself, because I'm not always going to be here. And then when you learn how to handle those problems, your responsibility at that point is to show the next people behind you, hey, here's a problem we've had in the past. These are your ways you fix these problems. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Alright, Powerline dude. I think I'm gonna call it quits on this this live stream. I'm gonna take a listen to a podcast for this last 20 minutes of my drive home, and I'm gonna go to bed right after that. Try to be. Alright, Powerline dude. It was great talking to you again. Have a great night. Get some sleep, man. Keep being awesome. Keep being you. Hopefully I'll see you on the next stream. Alright? But peace out. Keep camping. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good night.